Entitled bully gets their just rewards. My wife has an entitled co-worker acquaintance. I use the term acquaintance as she does run in our friend circle, but we try to limit or avoid contact with her. We will call her Karrie. Anyways, Karrie is known for bullying coworkers at work, saying that she can get people fired, she can't, screaming at people, and at large, just general bad behavior. Her favorite thing to intimidate people with is to tell them to F around and find out. This is important for later. So Karrie had a F buddy. Nothing serious, just a guy she would bang and kick out the door. Karrie is also notorious for collecting engagement rings. She would begin dating a guy, get a ring from them, get them to pay off some bill for her, then kick them to the curb. Again, I bring this up only as context to her character and to reinforce that the F-buddy guy meant nothing to her, as she didn't date him nor tried getting a ring from him. She used him, then kick him to the curb whenever someone with money showed her attention. She would also frequently talk ish about this guy behind his back. So Karrie was on one of her short-term engagements, so the F-buddy, let's call him Bill, was currently not someone she was seeing, as the new guy just bought her a $6,000 ring. I'm serious, she collected engagement rings like they were Pokemon and paid 10 grand to get her roof fixed. So she was happy with this guy and had no interest at all in Bill. Enter Mandy. Mandy is another coworker of my wife and Karrie. I personally don't know her, but from what I've been told, she just got out of a 15-year marriage where she wasn't allowed to do anything and was very controlled. Karrie and Mandy are friends, well, drinking buddies. Karrie likes to drink a lot, and by that, I mean all the time. But nevertheless, they were on good terms. So randomly, Mandy meets Bill. Mandy doesn't know Bill's history with Karrie, nor knows that he even knows her. They hit it off like really good, and they're getting along so well that they begin dating. And it blossoms into a great relationship, one that's built on respect and love. Karrie finds out, and she loses her effing mind. Again, she never dated Bill, never wanted to date Bill. She never had any interest in him besides intimate relationships. Hell, she is currently engaged to a guy. But Mandy took her man, and she let the world know about it. Karrie started by going to their boss daily and asking him, why does that little pitch still work here? She would also loudly exclaim this on the work floor for all to hear. Also, Karrie spent a whole hour yelling and screaming at her for something Mandy didn't even do. Karrie would also frequently harass them both when they were out and about in town. She would loudly call her a pitch, plut, punt, and just all the nasty things you can say about someone. She would not only loudly say these things in their proximity, but tell anyone that would listen or not listen, basically anyone around her, how she was wronged by Mandy and Bill, and what she thought about it, and that Mandy is afing around, so she's gonna find out. Fast forward 2 months. Mandy and Bill are still together and extremely happy. Karrie is not surprisingly no longer engaged to that guy. Also not surprisingly has already been engaged to another guy and married after a week. It was unfortunately the 2-year anniversary of the passing of a mutual friend of all parties involved. Karrie is using this time to take the week off of work to drink. This is a whole other can of worms. Basically, she isn't close to this person who passed as she claims to be. But anyways, once work is over, everyone else goes to the bar to have a drink to celebrate the departed life. So again, once Karrie, after 2 full days of drinking, sees Mandy, she begins to let into her again with all the shaming stuff. Mandy, finally having enough of it, attempts to talk to Karrie in an attempt to reconcile. Karrie is having none of this and keeps calling her names and proceeds to tell her that Mandy is afing around and is going to find out, and ends it with calling her a punt. Well, I'm guessing something snapped, and Mandy straight snapped and threw a beer bottle straight at her, hitting her in the face. Imagine the cop in The Big Lebowski throwing the coffee cup, knocking her on her ass. There's a slight pause, and someone I don't know who pipes up. It looks like you were the one that F around and found out. Karrie, obviously stunned, gets up and leaves. So the next day, she showed up to work with a very obvious black eye. She isn't saying anything to Mandy, but going to everyone else complaining that she was the victim, not understanding that everyone has been watching her bully this poor girl for the last few months. And that kind of it. Nothing else has happened since then, but if it does, I'll let you know. Sorry this got long-winded. Let's listen to some comment from the community and answers from the author before the end of the video.
Mandy is a hero and a saint.
Honestly, she is. I didn't really go into detail as I thought I was adding too much already. But Mandy is really a good person and never is unkind nor says unkind things to people. From what I know from my wife and the few interactions I have from her. Just been and got put in situations with people that are not that way.
How is Karrie even still employed at this place? Any HR department worth their salt would have a field day with her.
Trust me, I asked the same thing. The stuff she gets away with is ludicrous. From what I understand, she is a huge kiss ass to management and bullies other people and not saying anything. Granted, that may change now. I know they're hard up for workers. And honestly, she has done way worse to other employees from stories I heard.
Do you not have an HR department? That's creating a hostile workspace, a firing offense.
I know. You would think. The stuff she gets away with is baffling. The original post doesn't even scratch the surface. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Makes me wonder, who else's meat she's stringing along at work?
That's never been said out loud, but has definitely been thought of as a possibility given all the incidents.
I need an update as soon as possible.
Unfortunately, at this time, there is nothing to update on. Granted, though her sister and brother also are similar with the entitlement and have stories attached to that. I thought about sharing those ones too, due to the interest gathered from this one, mainly because that whole family is entitled. But the sister one is more entwined and involves my wife and I this time. She doesn't want the story told. And the brother one, though entitled, isn't that really good, especially without the other sister one for some background. But who knows, she may change her mind. Thank you for listening to this story. Let me know in the comments if you agree with the community. What would you have done in that situation? And for those who stayed to the end, I thank you. If you like this type of content, feel free to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. See you soon.